we?
Yeah.
Are we gone here? Are we gone? Alright, fucking hell.
You know, she turned the winds against us. I shot them. Hello and welcome to this Monday's edition of Movie News here at MBE. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us here on our YouTube channel and of course our Twitch stream. I am one of your co-hosts, Stephen John McLaughlin, and the other co-host coming on screen now, it's John C. Walsh.
The man held together with blue tack.
For the time being. I'm sure you'll recover from your weight training, John, but
fucking me, Steve.
an hour and a half, that's some going. That's some
I get
going,
caught
man.
up in it. Yeah. I've done exercises I've not done for months.
Yeah, well,
and enjoyed it.
Listen, you'll benefit it. You will. You might not feel it now, but you will.
The trapezius, I think that's what you call them, muscles are absolutely hanging together.
And
but required.
We all hope you had a lovely weekend as well. We certainly did. We had quite a break, John, actually, after we did the review on Friday night. We've not done any trailer reactions or anything like that. So
we will be recommendations.
Yeah, we will be getting back into that very shortly once we collect all the data from the community.
The analytics,
thanks.
Yes.
So once again. And we'll be raring to go to do more reactions and more reviews. But we'll talk about that later. We're going to talk about
on the fly there, Stephen. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
It changed from blue to green.
I was about to say something and I need your backup on this. We did review Parasite, didn't we?
We did, yes.
We did. I think it might have been one of the first reviews we did.
We get at least,
I
think we get about 1,000+ views on that.
Yeah. And we thought, this is a good idea. Well, let's do movie reviews. But it didn't pan out that way. But John, Parasite's Park Seo-joon. That's his name now, but his name wasn't that when they did Parasite. It changed his name. May soon star in a Marvel movie. Now, this is quite intriguing. This is coming in from...
We were dabbling with who he was in Parasite, and we finally discovered.
Yeah. It's
potentially.
How long ago was
that? The little
guy
who helped them get into that house.
I think it was a relation. I'm sure he was
a friend of his.
Yeah.
And he also had contacts. He then got her the job as the art teacher.
And the qualification.
A maths teacher. And he was the art teacher.
Yeah. It must be 2 years now since we've seen that film.
It was a great movie, Stephen.
Yeah,
one of the really great movies of the last 20 years.
Yeah. John, I always remember we did the trailer reaction for it, and I always remember someone in the comments, because we reacted to it, and what we said in the reaction was the tone changed halfway through the trailer, and someone says, wait till you see the movie, the tone does change halfway through the movie as well.
Jesus Christ.
Not seen a film like that since, John, or before it. I know we did a few Korean films after it.
We done by Bong Joon-ho, ones, and I'm hoping I've said that right. We also did Snowpiercer, and I think I've seen a couple other ones since then as well.
Yeah, Snowpiercer was fantastic, wasn't it?
It was Chris Evans. It was Tilda Swinton, I want to say.
Yeah.
And it was the late great John Hurt.
Yeah.
It was a great movie.
What was the one we did?
And you had the man who played the father.
What was the train one we did? Not Snowpiercer, the other one.
That was the Train to Busan. Yeah,
that was fantastic. I loved that.
Great zombie movie.
Yeah. Not actually being inclined to watch the sequel, to be honest.
No, apparently not as good, Stephen.
I know Dave DM Anderson. He did review the second one, and it's not a patch in the first one. No. Maybe someday I'll probably check it out.
Lightning in a bottle, Stephen. Those kind of movies. Very hard to replicate. But Stephen, the Koreans are unreal.
Yeah.
At filmmaking, incredible. I think they're actually levels above Western.
John, they're so clinical.
They really do.
And they've got that again. We talk about this when we're doing our Indian movie reviews as well, about social.
House. Satire.
It's just the way they do it so subtly, but you understand where they're coming from.
No one deconstructs a society better than a Korean in a film.
Yeah.
No one.
John, but what about this news? Park Seo-joon will appear in an upcoming Marvel Studios movie and left South Korea on Friday to begin filming. The actor's agency said news of Park's foray into the Marvel Cinematic Universe
to begin filming in the Marvel movie
shortly after the release of Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings starring Simu Liu, Marvel's first movie with an Asian superstar. In a post on its website, Awesome ENT thanked fans for showing an interest in Park's new role and said the name of the film and his character would be announced at a later date. But several outlets have speculated that Park will appear in The Marvels, an upcoming sequel to the 2019 box office success Captain Marvel starring Brie Larson. The Marvels, which has been directed by Nia DaCosta, is scheduled to be released in November 2022. Park appeared in the 2019 smash hit Parasite as Min, the college student who gives up his English tutoring job to one of the film's main characters. According to Korea Herald, Park is well known to international Korean drama fans for his roles in several TV romantic comedies, including What's Wrong with Secretary Kim and Ayatwon Class. Now that's all it says, John. So it's speculation at the moment, but it seems to be homing in on that the Marvels which is due for release in 2022 November. So it's the end of 2022, plenty of time. I think people will probably
try to find out which movies are in production, because it might not be the Marvels.
I think that's what people are trying to piece together, try to look at the schedule of MCU, what's coming out. It depends on the size of his role as well. If it's a small role, he doesn't really have to start filming right away. You know, he can do stuff very late on in the day. But I don't think they're going to bring in someone of this calibre just to come in and do a cameo. It's going to be a big supporting role anyway in one of the Marvel films, John. But
and Stephen, it's just, again, it's nice to see representation in these movies. We've been going on about it, but it has to be organic. We don't want forced representation, because it feels forced, and it feels like a cash grab for that region. And we've seen that with Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy and the people over at Lucasfilm. Deliberately, let's put a Chinese person in this movie, and then we can target that audience, that demographic, and they'll bring us money in. What didn't work because the movie was poor, and the audience seen through it, as the charade it was. So it has to be organic representation. And look, I just want to see more of these regions and their styles of filmmaking, their styles in terms of culture being brought into this cinematic universe. I want to see a real melting pot. Apparently, I've still not seen Shang-Chi. I'm going to watch it this week, 100%. Apparently, they've brought the East to the West. They've combined it beautifully. They've brought in this sort of martial artist movie with all that vibes, Man Out of Time sort of vibe, and they put it into this MCU, and it's a great addition. I'll
tell you something else, and I was reading it earlier on. I was sort of swaying or not to include it in today's show. They are saying that he is as powerful. He's up there with Thor and Hulk.
Really?
That's incredible.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that. I thought it was a more human scale.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
But also, we've seen it in the trailer, Stephen. There was some borderline cosmic shit going on, energy stuff going on in that movie.
Pass off the Captain Marvel fans. Saying that.
Yeah. Well, Stephen, look, it's good to see, because we need more powerful characters coming into this universe.
Yeah.
Because we are missing the likes of Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. I know we've got Sam Wilson coming in and playing Captain America.
And they've watered down the Incredible Hulk as well.
They've watered down the Incredible Hulk. So we need more powerful, fresh, vibrant characters coming in, and Shang-Chi's coming in, he's doing that. With this, I don't know who he could potentially be playing, but if he is coming into the Marvels, then I'm fucking glad, just purely because it's actually a confirmed male character that's going to be in the movie. It's not an all female affair, because we know traditionally that ain't a good idea when it comes to making movies in Hollywood. All female movies tend to bomb, and I don't know if it's because males are put off going to see it because they can't be arsed going and watching. I don't know if you want to be a little bit more misogynistic, which I won't. I'll refrain from saying it. Maybe they're just put off from seeing an all-female movie just because it doesn't connect with them, or maybe it's because it's a clear agenda from the directors at times, like your Charlie's Angels, like your Terminator Dark Fate, and they actively go out and actually criticise your male demographics that go and watch these movies. Then they're like, well, fuck you, I'm not going to go and watch a movie. So
then criticise them for not coming.
Then criticise them for not turning up, so they can't really win. I'd like to see him coming in and performing as a meaty role, because as you say, Stephen, we didn't see enough of him in Parasite. Let's be honest, it was like a 5-minute scene. He was sitting outside the cafe having a conversation, then he buggered off the screen. But as I says, I really enjoy Korean cinema. I think the actors
the fact you
fantastic.
remember him says it all.
Exactly, Stephen. But that speaks volumes about that movie. All the characters are memorable. Little quirky moments, like sitting in the car, he's shaking the coffee and stuff like that. The guy's impressed with him. There's hundreds of little moments that aren't really pertinent to the actual main story, but they stick in your mind. That's the brilliance of the cinema, the filmmaking, I should say, from that region. So I want to see more big name actors coming from all over the world. I want to see fucking Indian actors, Stephen, appearing in Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. I know Camille Nanjiani's in it, but he's not a proper Indian starring actor from the subcontinent. This is a guy that was doing comedy movies over here. He's established as a name in Hollywood. I want to see guys like Dhanush.
John, I was going to say, I think he's
guys
probably
like that
the best
coming
bet.
in and getting into an MCU movie. I want to see more multiculturalism.
I think once a broader audience see him in the Grey, is it the Grey Man?
The Grey Man, yeah.
I think maybe that'll turn people's attentions to this guy's talents, and he's not the only one out there. I'm not saying that, but I think the Grey Man will give him more exposure to the
He's
Western
younger though,
audience.
Steve. I think he's about 37, so he's got a long time. And I don't know, man, from the movies I've seen, there's a lot of great actors from there, but he seems to be the more Western styled actor to me. There's just something about him. He's somebody that can transition over seamlessly, and it's no coincidence the Russos have picked this guy to come into the Grey Man and star alongside the likes of Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans. They've noticed it, that he's got that trait if you'd like to perform in a Western movie.
Yeah.
That's not to say the rest of them can't, man.
No.
You can't see Saria's and Thalapathy Vijay's going over and doing it. I'm absolutely certain they could do it. Stephen, looking at a list of the movies that are currently in production or in post-production, obviously post can't be done, so he's not in Shang-Chi, we know that for sure. But you look at the movies, Eternals, he's not going to be in Eternals because that's done as well.
That's done, yeah.
Spider-Man No Way Home, he ain't going to appear in that.
No,
That's pretty much done. Multiverse of Madness, could he appear in that? I don't think I'd want to see him appear in Multiverse of Madness purely because he'd be eaten up, he'd be swallowed whole.
Yeah.
There's too much going on in that movie. You're going to have the likes of Wanda Maximoff in there as Scarlet Witch. You're going to have
that's a film for established
Steven's,
characters. John.
Stephen, you can't be popping in a new face and hoping he'll sink or swim.
John, that was the problem with the Star Wars sequels. It was this throwing every new character under the bus as much as they could, you know.
We have not seen Shang-Chi yet, Mike. I'm going to see it this week, 100%. I have to see it in the theatres. I must see it.
John, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, I know a lot of people are hanging off to see this on streaming. I can't get my head around that. I can't get my head around watching any MCU film.
No, Stephen, I want to back the movie as well. I want to back the vision. I want to back the man at Simu Liu, because the guy's speaking highly of the movie. He wants it to be a success. I'm willing it on to be a success. Hopefully it made that $90 million over Labour Day weekend, if that's even what the term is. I'm not from America.
I think it is, yeah.
Labour Day weekend. Hopefully it's made big bucks and we can then go on and just... With Stephen, two guys are not going to support a fucking movie, let's be honest. It's 1,000 cuts. You really have to work together with thousands of other people to make it a success. But I'm going to go and see it this week, absolutely. Heard nothing but good things about it.
Exactly.
By all accounts, an incredible movie.
Yeah.
Incredible. And if it's even close to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I can't speak, vibes, man, I mean, we both love that movie, Stephen, so that's right up my street.
Yeah. John, I get that vibe from it, but I also get the vibe of Doctor Strange sort of theme as well.
Standalone Origins, but it's a little bit more cocky. It's a different introduction. We've not really... Stephen, you think of the traditional stalwarts in the MCU, the likes of Thor, Tony Stark, Captain America, they had very different origin stories, introductions.
I'm just going to ask Mike something very quickly here, John. Mike, is Ben Kingsley in this movie?
I think he is, Steve. I
think
I could
the role he played in Iron Man 3. Maybe you can confirm that for us. I'm not sure.
I've heard he's in it.
Yeah.
Which, fucking controversial, because it was...
but I think it kind of sorts out a plot hole, John, as well.
Yeah, I don't think he wasn't the real Mandarin. No. He definitely wasn't the real Mandarin. That was... Also, I think it may have been Shang-Chi's father. Is it the Mandarin? You answer that question as well.
Yeah.
He is, isn't it?
He is, yeah.
I think he saved movie from being pushed back.
John, this is Kevin Feige all over. He's found a plot hole and he's fixed it. He's fixed it, you know.
What Mike says is very interesting. That Simu Liu in this movie have potentially saved other Marvel movies from being pushed back. This was a make or break fucking movie. A lot of people were saying it was make or break. That it was going to be Paramount. Oh man, Kingsley's. We were laughing at Kingsley before we came on. Not laughing at him in the sense that he's a joke, but laughing at Operation Finale.
Yeah.
And I'm playing a 36-year-old Adolf Eichmann when he was in his 70s. But only Ben Kingsley can do that.
Yeah.
Because if it was any other actor aging, you'd be like, that's a fucking joke.
I think the fact they've tried to cake him in makeup to make him look
he looked
just
like a fucking
defy
drag
bloods, you know.
He looked like, what was your drag guy who used to be on the TV? Early 90s.
Yeah, Lily Savage.
Lily Savage, looked like him. Or her. Actually, no, I don't know what the fuck he was at, he or she, I don't know.
It's Paul O'Grady.
Paul O'Grady, it's Paul O'Grady. Yeah, Paul O'Grady's brilliant, For Love and Thunder, Stephen, could he be in that? Doubt it. There's limited movies this guy could be in. He's not going to be in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. It's really only the Marvels, and I reckon maybe Blade, that this guy could turn up in.
Yeah.
Realistically, that's the only two movies I could see in the next slate that he could turn up in. I want the Marvels to happen, because I think it's already looking like a good movie. You've got this sort of ensemble, you've got Monica Rambeau in there, you've got Miss Marvel, you've got obviously Captain Marvel.
John, it wasn't that long ago we were talking about the Marvels. I don't think it was called the Marvels at the time. Captain Marvel 2, its working title. We're talking about it could possibly be at Civil War. It's not the case now. Obviously, we're looking at Spider-Man being that.
But Stephen, they're building the stakes by introducing 3 characters as the sort of co-leads in this movie.
Yeah.
Instead of it just being Captain Marvel, who in herself is very powerful. We've seen that.
When are we getting Miss Marvel? When's that coming out?
It's coming out very shortly, Stephen.
Yeah,
I think it's shooting just now because we've seen set photos.
I think we'll have to review that, John.
Yeah, but Stephen, bring these 3 characters together. You're now requiring a much more ominous villain. You can't come in with a street level villain now. You couldn't anyway with Captain Marvel, but it's going to have to be something really fucking formidable for these 3 characters to take on. So I think it's going to be a very good movie. It's Nia DaCosta, isn't it, who's directing of Candyman fame. So a great director, great vision, looking like 3 very good actors an Oscar-winning actor in Brie Larson. Potentially this guy coming in from Parasite. I think Nick Fury's in there as well. So any movie Samuel L. Jackson's in, you've got me in.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to it. And that's, again, speaking volumes about Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
He makes you want to watch movies you
John,
don't fucking care about.
Back to Captain Marvel, I thought it was an okay film. I think I was more hyped up for it at the time, but obviously as times went on, it's a mediocre film. But I sometimes think as well, John, that perhaps maybe I'm doing it a disservice. It had a lot to carry. It was a prequel set story. It's the first time they did that. And it was in between Infinity War and Endgame as well, so there's a comparison thing going on there as well.
I think they did a good job introducing the character in an organic manner and then bring that in. Sped up sort of evolution into Endgame. It wasn't grating her appearing. I thought they did well. I don't think it's the worst MCU movie by a long shot. It's far better than the likes of Dark World and stuff like that. And Iron Man 3, potentially Iron Man 2 as well. I would say Iron Man 2. That Iron Man trilogy wasn't great.
No, it wasn't. The first movie was excellent.
The first movie was brilliant. I actually watched the ending where he revealed it. That was ad-libbed, by the way. I think he actually decided. Did he decide that?
He probably did, John.
Tony Starr, I don't know if he did. Probably it was wrote in anyway. But just the way he delivered it was fucking amazing. And that sparked it all off. Yeah, Stephen, I don't know. I don't know what movie he's going to appear in, but look, I'm excited to see a guy from Parasite appearing in a movie like this. I don't know of many of these actors who have appeared in Parasite who did a great job and made it an Oscar-winning movie, multi-Oscar-winning movie for, I think, first since Walt Disney in the 1950s. Can't think of any of them making the jump over to Western cinema since it released. I'm not saying they haven't before. Can't think of any, so this may be the very first guy.
Well, John, we're going to stay on the MCU here, and we're talking about a film you just mentioned, it's Blade, and the MCU Blade reboot won't be restricted by comic canon, says director. Marvel Studios Blade reboot starring...
I'm happy about that, not Steve, because in the comics he was fighting fucking Wolverine and things like that. So.
I know. Mahershala Ali, well, maybe that's why they can't, maybe they're not ready for that. Maybe it won't be boxed in or restricted by any comics canon, according to director Bassam Tariq. This is coming in from Screen Rant. We'll just read a little bit about this. I couldn't tell you, John. But it says here Tariq has been promoting his most recent film Mowgli and dropping some Blade teasers along the way. The most recent comments came during the director's appearance on the Playlist podcast via Gizmodo. While Tariq couldn't go into detail regarding the script Osi Kufar is working on, he did discuss the creative freedom they have been given by Marvel, coupled with the fact that there is no official comic canon for the films to be restricted by. And this is what Tariq said, John. It's very short and sweet. What's so great is it's not as boxed in as I think people imagine it to be, which I thought it was, but it's quite exciting. I think the reality is there is no Blade canon. In some comics, his name is Fred H. Blade, instead of Eric Brooks. Unfortunately, the runs never lasted that long, and there have been some interesting and exciting waves, but I can say the new movie is character first. John, I'm actually happy about that. Well, I don't think there's enough sort of...
seen photographs of him taking on lobbies and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there's and from this description it looks like there's different sort of versions of the character, different names, similar to the Robin character in the Batman movies, John, or the Batman canon, I should say. But listen, I welcome that, and I think a director will welcome it as well, because it gives them more freedom to do what they want. Obviously, there's going to be some kind of restriction. I know he's saying,
Stephen, as you speak.
I know he's saying that they're not boxed in, but they will be to an extent to fit into the MCU, like all MCU films are. But I don't mind it, I'll be honest with you. I don't really know much of the canon anyway, what is there, so I don't really mind. I'm more obviously interested in the Wesley Snipes stuff back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it worked well for that trilogy, so I can see it working again.
Stephen, would you like to see what I've just brought up there incidentally? I know it's not going to happen. It ain't going to happen. I'm well aware of that. Would you like to see these guys in a movie together at some point? That's fucking Wolverine, man. It's not going to happen, ain't it not? Because Mahershala Ali's in his 50s now.
Madripoor,
Madripoor, I've heard that before.
It was in Loki, wasn't it? Was it Loki? No, was it? It was in one of the Disney Plus.
Was it not Falcon and Winter Soldier?
It was, it was.
It was the Little Island, wasn't it?
Yep.
Stephen Anderson, and I can't even speak tonight, honestly. I nearly had a stroke there trying to say understand. It's a simple word. I understand what the director's saying, if indeed it is the director, and I'm not wrong in saying that.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
What he's saying by there's not one definitive line of canon in the comics. It's not like Captain America or Iron Man where you've got one straight line unbroken. You may have side stories and superfluous shit going on with alternate universes and time travel, but they've got pretty linear stories in the comics. This guy's probably not got that. It's probably been limited runs, as he said, different variants in the character. And much like you, I've not read any of the fucking Blade comics, so I can't really get butthurt over this and say, no, what about this little run? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Because I've not read them. My only brush with this character was the early 2000s, with, as you did say, Wesley Snipes' Blade. And that's going to be completely different to what we're getting here. It's MCU. It ain't going to be... I can't remember if that was violent. Those movies, were they violent?
For its time,
really call them being
John,
that violent.
It's funny because
certainly going to be less violent than we're getting.
Remember,
this one's going to be less
violent.
Remember
that time period where now you would go, oh, that's violent for an MCU film. You didn't have that then, so you didn't have that sort of gauge to gauge its violence on. It was just a case of...
Stephen, I grew up in the 18 era.
Yeah.
There was 18 movies.
I mean, it was violent enough, John, but I think nowadays we look at films and we go, depending on what studio they're coming out of, if it's Disney owned, then we're like, oh, that's a bit thingy for Disney. And we were the same when Daredevil came out, weren't we? We were all shocked. No, the Netflix series, we were all like, fucking hell, this is violent as fuck.
Shocked that Deadpool's making the transition to the MCU. He's clearly R-rated and they can't change that character.
Yeah.
They're going to PG-13 that character and Ryan Reynolds will walk away. I'm guaranteeing you that's my prediction just now. The first movie will be R, then they'll bring him in somehow and Disneyfy him, and he'll be a little Disney prince turned into a toad. You mark my fucking words. But Steve, with this, I can't get butthurt over it as long as the vision's there, the actors are up for it. It's Mahershala Ali, he pitched the story to Kevin Feige. I mean, you've a multiple Oscar winner coming to your door and saying, look, I've got this pitch for a character that you're perhaps not interested in using. Would you like to listen to it? He's going to say, yeah, come on in, we'll have a cup of coffee, bitch. And they'll have that conversation. That's why it's happening.
Do you think it'll be a one and done film?
I think it will, Stephen. Yeah, I do. I think it was just an itch Mahershala Ali's had. He's scratched it. It's getting done. I can't see them continue.
It's going to be in that same category as The Incredible Hulk.
I think so.
One movie, yeah.
I don't know if you can do a multiple Blade movie. I think that's why there's talk of Vulture getting into Morbius. Michael Keaton brings that Morbius Jared Leto character over. Blade hunts Morbius. That's your one and done.
Yeah.
Mahershala Ali versus Jared Leto. That's what I think.
That would be spectacular.
I may be wrong. They have set up precedents for vampires and Loki, obviously Mobius says it, but I think it'll be one and done, Stephen. But that's enough. One is enough.
Yeah.
But we'll see. If it's fucking amazing, I'm not going to say no.
John, it was one that came out of nowhere when they were doing the announcement for the phases.
Yeah.
You know, and just having Mahershala Ali, big fans of his,
being
included in some way, you know, and this is the perfect fit. This is like what's the actress that plays the Jedi in the Mandalorian? I can't remember her name now. Everybody wanted her to play
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson. Everybody wanted
Stephen,
that.
I forgot her name the other day. It's
crazy.
It's
how funny. I've seen so many, and she's in obviously the Marvel stuff as well, isn't she?
Yeah, she plays the Doctor.
Yeah, the Night Nurse. Yeah, but John, I'm looking forward to it. I don't really care if they don't use canon or not, as long as it's a good story.
Stephen, and the director and the actor are on the same, singing from the same hymn sheet, and obviously Kevin Feige's on board with it. That's all that matters, really.
I think that's probably adds more to the argument in terms of it being a one and done, because if they've not got a lot of canon there to work with anyway, then they can do that and condense it into a standalone.
Could you
film.
see a continuing appearance from Blade in the MCU, taking on vampires and stuff like that in Avengers movies? I don't know if that would happen, Stephen. So
I think he could be. I don't know. Mahershala Ali would want to do that, because I know that Edward Norton didn't want to do that.
And Mahershala's a more drama-driven actor anyway. This guy goes and stars in fucking Oscar caliber movies. And as good as the MCU is, and as much as we enjoyed him, they're never going to be contending for Best Picture.
I think he's
unless Chloe Zhao brings Eternals to Best Picture.
Yeah, I think so. But I think Mahershala Ali, John, I think you're right about him in terms of not wanting to commit long term.
Yeah.
Don't want to say he's getting on. He's certainly not getting on. He's a fit 50-odd-year-old man anyway.
I couldn't believe he was in his 50s. I'm pretty sure he is.
But I don't think he's the type of person like Edward Norton that wants to commit long term just for cameo appearances. I can't see it myself.
Tell you just now how old he is, Stephen, if you bear with me.
Yeah, no problem.
Incidentally, that guy from Parasite, he's 2 months older than me.
Yeah.
This motherfucker ain't got a single line in his face. I want to know what the fuck he's doing. I'm discovering new lines every day, mostly around the eyes.
John, that's oily, really. Yeah.
47 years, he's not in his 50s.
He's
47, Stephen. He's still young as fuck.
I've done him a disservice. He's only 2 years older than me.
16th of February.
Yeah.
He is in Aquarian, I'm pretty sure. Is he? Pisces?
Yep, he is.
He's a fucking great man. That's why I love him.
Johnny is a great man. You know, we loved Green Book. Stephen, that was an amazing film.
He's just a fucking incredible actor. And
John, again, we're talking about Marvel Netflix stuff. Cottonmouth.
Yeah, you Cottonmouth. I was fucking raging when they killed that character off. Raging.
What are you doing? After 3 episodes, he's done. And that was a good series. That was Luke Cage, wasn't it?
Luke Cage, yeah.
And he was great in it. But again, that's what I'm talking about. Mahershala Ali will not commit long term to those kind of things. You know, he'll make his presence felt. The character will do what he's got to do. He'll be a memorable character. I think that's what's going to happen with Blade. I don't think he's going to be in it long term.
Speaking about the Netflix stuff, and also again, that's a confirmation, if you'd like, from Kevin Feige that stuff isn't in the canon, because they've took Cottonmouth and made him Blade.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck that shit. That doesn't exist.
Well,
do
Charlie
you
Cox,
think
perhaps,
that Charlie Cox will make the appearance in No Way Home? I spoke about it the other day.
Yeah.
He confirmed it wasn't his fucking elbow.
No,
an arm that was in it wasn't his.
Charlie Cox isn't a fat
his
bastard.
Chubby belly it was in it. He ain't a fat bastard. He's incredible fucking great.
Yeah.
He's confirmed it ain't him, but he ain't shut the door on it, Stephen. He says he is making him anxious. He doesn't want to spoil anything. I think that's confirmation that Charlie Cox is in No Way Home. I really do.
He is in it. I think he is in it.
Do you think he's in it? Yeah. Do you think he'll play Daredevil or just Matt Murdock as a lawyer?
I think Matt Murdock. I think it'll be his introduction though. And then we will get Daredevil further down the line.
That'd be fucking great, man.
I think there's too much going on, John, in No Way Home. I think throwing in him as his complete character would just be too much. It would look...
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Well, you done it with Spider-Man, to be fair. No
Matt Murdock's a great introduction. To bring him in as Matt Murdock,
and he's still...
then perhaps, you know, a little wink at the camera, you know who he is.
Wouldn't that be
brilliant? He's blind,
man?
so I don't think he would do that, but I would like to see him further down the line playing
for
Daredevil.
the two characters, the two characters I think that could have made the jump from those Netflix things to MCU would have been Punisher and Matt Murdock. Yep. And sadly, Bernthal ain't going to be in MCU.
No.
Punisher ain't making an appearance in the MCU.
No, I don't. No,
just
I think,
tonally, it's miles off.
Yeah, I think perhaps maybe phase 1 to 3 might have, you know, like a Hawkeye type. But
Vincent D'Onofrio was Kingpin, could come in as well.
I love that. He was great, wasn't he? I actually hated him in that, in a good way. You know, just because of his performance, he wound me up. He was so clever. You know, he was so ahead of the game and just.
But yeah, he stakes the right way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The only way.
But anyway, John, we're going to move on. We're moving from Marvel to DC now, and we're talking about Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man.
This is coming in from
David S. Malkin.
Yeah, it's coming in from Screen Rant, John. I just saw the picture there again. This is amazing. This is incredible. Now, this was one of the laugh out loud moments of the film, John. Polka Dot Man's
the best laugh out moment when he turned Starro into her. Yeah. That was unfucking real. She was destroying
King
buildings.
Shark because of the shape, the pointy head and that. Yeah. But Polka Dot Man's recurring nightmare about his mum that is. His Ma. Becomes a fan-made The Suicide Squad collectible, which James Gunn says will be big with kids. There is the picture there, John. It looks terrifying.
Brilliant, ain't it? I'll get me on the screen for this shit.
That's incredible.
Ain't that fucking brilliant, man? Someone's made that, Steve.
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
It's King Shark's body, isn't it? You can tell with the hands and the shorts, the denim shorts.
That's up there for me with the charred remains of Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen.
Yeah, that was,
which was an official release.
Yeah, that was amazing.
What
yeah.
Lucasfilm think?
Did you ever see those cheap knockoff Phantom Menace toys, and one of them called Darth Maul Dennis?
Darth Maul Dennis? No, I've not seen that. I'll search that up.
Phantom Menace Dennis.
Darth Maul Dennis. I'm going to search that up on the show.
Yeah, do it now. Yeah,
I'll do it if you want.
Yeah. Right, but while you're doing that, John, I'll just read this quick quote here. It's in Screen Rant. James Gunn recently shared a Polka Dot Man inspired collectible made by artist Adam Parocci, Readful Things, which is depiction of the King Shark version of Polka Dot Man's mom, leaning into the character's constant visions of his mother. The figurine is enclosed in packaging that portrays actress Lynn Ash as various members of Task Force X. Gunn teased that he thought the toy was going to be big with the kids in the holiday season. James Gunn's humour cracks me up. There you go. He says it in the tweet. This is going to be big with the kids this holiday season.
I tell you, man, people would buy it.
They would. Yeah,
I'm telling you right now, people would buy it.
Yeah, they would, because it's just.
See, if you put out a limited edition of that, Stephen, 20 years from now, that'd be a worth a fucking bomb.
Exactly.
A bomb. People would be spending $20,000 on that.
John, I think these Dennis characters.
Dennis, I'm going to bring Dennis up.
Bring Dennis up, John. Since we're on this.
Find my fucking mouse cursor.
Subject of
Dennis,
and it's it's probably one of them, but I think there's a whole. There you go, Dennis. I think I'm in the road, John. But you can ditch me if you want. If you just want to, I don't know if you can. But I mean, there's a Natalie Portman one. There's a Ewan McGregor one, and it's they're all just different. I don't know who made these. Maybe someone can help us out. But yeah, it's bootleg. Here you go, Dennis.
Fucking zoom in, man.
Denison, the Natalie Portman one as well. No, it's not. That's Palpatine, isn't it? I can't remember what he's called. The Emperor Daft Sirius.
Oh my
Daft
days. Labor Day.
Yeah, Labor Day. Yeah, John, that's somebody just pulling you up for that.
Fuck off.
Yeah, John, I think it's fantastic, and as you said, somewhere down the line, ages 14 plus, I laughed at that. Yeah. The Emperor Daft Series.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, Dennis.
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 Dennis. It's not every day someone chins big bass. Dennis. That's an old Peter saying, deep cut.
Daft Dennis, yeah.
Daft Dennis. Fuck me, could you imagine it?
John, we talked about this character after we did we came out the theatres when we watched the Suicide Squad and we did the review.
Steve called her something else. Related to a certain football club in this country. We can't say it just now because it's hot water.
Right, okay. But John, I think
we said that on the ferries experimenting ways meant she was something.
I think that was one of the highlights of the film for me. It was his issues with his mother, and as bummed as I was when Polka Dot Man obviously bit the dust, he sort of fulfilled what he set out to be, a hero.
Yeah.
You know, and he died happy. So
I can accept that. Yeah. He was this sort of Steve Buscemi from Con Air kind of character.
Yeah.
So evil they had to keep him away. And it turns out he was just a deeply misunderstood character with falsely an interdimensional virus within him that he had to shed out twice a day. And he had this sort of relationship with this mother figure who I don't think it was a mother, I think it was a scientist that was experimenting on him, much like Rocket Raccoon and Wolverine.
Yeah.
And Stephen, that was, again, I keep speaking about it, the brilliance of James Gunn summed up in one character in one movie. He takes this character on a superficial level, you laugh at him, he's a joke, he's got the polka dot suit, he looks like something out of fucking House of Fun from the 90s. Welcome to the House of Fun.
Fun House.
Bloppy, bloppy, bloppy. Yeah. Looked like fucking
Mr. Blobby.
Looked like Mr. Bobby. A joke, but then he turns it into a real human story about the human condition story about this character and what he's went through, and you end up fucking bonding to him. Same with Ratcatcher, a joke character, you bond to him. That's the brilliance of James Gunn. That's what he does with characters. Takes these stupid characters and makes you feel for them. He's a fucking genius.
I'm actually looking at that figurine there and I'm thinking Robert Meyer Burnett wants that.
You would? I'm telling you right now, he'd buy that.
Yeah, definitely.
Get it in an 8-inch. Is it an 8-inch?
That's his preference, isn't it?
You call them again. You actually get fucking
hot toys.
Hot toys. Yeah. You get big ones. I've been looking at them, man.
They're incredible, John.
£350, £400 for Tony Stark, Captain America. Staying that to have them in this fucking room.
Yeah, they're worth it.
They'd be on, sure.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Well, once we get our
Star Wars as well.
Up and running,
imagine getting a Luke Skywalker, Return of the Jedi.
Oh, they're fantastic.
With the black one.
They're obviously scanned from actual images of the actor, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's how
see
they get
if you
the
could. I'm sidetracking you here, Stephen, but see if you could pick any hot toy of that scale with the incredible detail. Which character would you pick?
That's a good question,
and
John.
Then I'm going to ask you another one. If you don't pick the one I think you're going to pick.
From anything TV or film?
Well, movies.
Probably, I think Luke Skywalker is a good call.
That's good, Steve, because that's what I was going to ask you. Because which one would you pick? Would you pick A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, or Return of the Jedi? Return of the Jedi's unreal.
Yeah, his outfit, that's incredible. Yeah,
the glove.
I had the Canon toy back in '83, John, and it was incredible as well for its day. Just. One of those ones I had to have. I had
the fucking OG ones that are worth a fortune.
Yeah, binned them all.
Worth a bomb.
I left them in the house somewhere. Yeah, I had Chewbacca, R2D2,
that's what happened
C-3PO,
with house exchange we had, Stephen.
Yeah,
guy left us an ottoman full of Star Wars toys. It was Tusken Raiders.
I always remember.
Like
I think round about 1984-85, I had the chicken pox. And I asked my gran if I could get. She asked me what Star Wars figure you want, and I said I want Boba Fett. She got me Biff Fortuna. So same initials, but John, it was still cool. It was still cool.
Did you have a Nubasa?
Yeah.
You Scottish?
Yes.
And then Dale should have gave it away.
Yeah.
Probably Glaswegian. I was going to say Southside, probably East Ender.
He turned fat, so he definitely was. With all those fucking deep fried Mars bars and.
Have you ever had a deep fried Mars bar, Steve?
No.
I've never had
I don't like.
I don't
like grease, John.
I tried a pizza crunch about 6 months ago.
No.
Fucking disgusting.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Disgraceful.
Batter and grease, no. Not my bag, I'm afraid. But
give me a plain old fucking steak pie or fish or half chicken.
Yeah.
Not sausage anymore. Far
fish
too
cakes. Fish cakes. Anyway, John. I don't think we've got any more fuel in the tank talking about Polka Dot
speaking about chip shops, Stephen.
Mother.
What's your favourite chip shop in Glasgow, Steve? We'll just get the Q&A out just now.
Probably Koya's.
Yeah.
think Koi is.
I tell you what, I'm going to go Enzo's.
Enzo, yeah.
Enzo's. All the Italian ones are the best. All the Italian ones.
Yeah.
The Vito's.
Yeah.
But not the Blue Lagoon.
Anyway.
What the fuck that's called? Is it the Blue Lagoon? Yeah.
We're going to be talking about
fucking gay bar from Police Academy. Blue Oyster.
Blue Oyster Bar. How did we get on to this? Yeah.
They were talking about that. Somebody was talking about the Blue Oyster.
Yeah.
I don't know where it was.
John, I'll tell you something. Police Academy. I was talking to Kevin about this yesterday. The first movie was incredibly funny.
Man, it was.
It's a classic.
It just
would not get made nowadays.
No.
It just could not get away with that now. But anyway, we're going to...
Okay,
here's a film, John, that might intrigue you. Or it might not, I'm not sure. But Thalapathy Vijay...
Well, I'll tell you right now, Stephen, anything that's got Thalapathy in it is good enough for me. So
yeah, well, Thalapathy Vijay to make cameo appearance in SRK's... That's Shah Rukh Khan, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know. It's Jawaan. Now, Thalapathy Vijay will reportedly make a cameo appearance in Shah Rukh Khan's upcoming film, Jawaan, helmed by Atlee. During an online Ask SRK session on Twitter, Khan's response to one specific query won many hearts. A fan asked the actor one word about Thalapathy Vijay, with Khan responding instantly with "very cool." Rumours are rife that Vijay will be making a cameo in the much talked about film, which has been tentatively titled Jawaan. The film will see Khan in a double role. Now, we've seen that
double role, yeah, that's part of the course.
Yeah,
for a lot of movies in India, they do that double duty a lot. Well, not double duty because that's directing and acting, but they do that double role, sometimes triple roles. And I've not seen it done better anywhere else, Stephen. When I think of that, I think of Eddie Murphy in his Dark Days, Nutty Professor and things like that.
Clumps, yeah.
White Chicks, whatever the fuck they were called. That terrible one. Was that him? I
don't think it was. No.
Well, things like that anyway. They sort of, I think that's an even shiter movie, if that's even possible. But I'm saying, as I think of the Dark Days of Eddie Murphy, when he'd lost his verve. So when you go and watch these indie movies, you watch like Thalapathy and, as you did say, I mean, Akshay Kumar was playing, I think, possessed transgender character. So they do it very well, and they implement it into the story very, very well. It's unique. I ain't seen it done better anywhere else. So look, I've not seen a single Shah Rukh Khan movie, much to my dismay. I ain't seen one. I've heard all about the guy though, but apparently I think he's one of the richest actors on the planet. Very well respected.
Yeah, I think he is the richest,
The richest, predominantly North Indian actor.
Yeah.
And obviously Thalapathy, huge star in the South.
Jawaan isn't confirmed, John, because I've looked everywhere for it. So I don't know. I think it's rumoured just now. Thalapathy Vijay doing a cameo. Do you think he would do that? I think he might do it for Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's something that he would do. He would just do lightly. I think he would have to think about it very carefully.
Stephen, it's Atlee, and I'm looking at Atlee just now. I'm looking at his filmography, and he's done Ferry, he's done Mercil, he's done Biggle. He's worked with Thalapathy before.
And a few of them had double roles as well.
So he's worked with him before, so I think he'd be willing to go and do it for Atlee. If not, I mean, I think he'd do it for Shah Rukh Khan as well. He's got the respect of Shah Rukh Khan.
Yep, it seems to be a mutual thing, John, yeah.
I'm just wondering whether Shah Rukh Khan is an North Indian actor now. If Atlee's doing it, he seems to... Maybe he's just a guy that floats about, much like SS Rajamouli, I don't know. Incidentally, Mike, welcome back.
Yeah.
What did you order?
Yeah.
Fill us in, we simply have to know. Because I had a chicken tikka biryani tonight with...
John, I'll tell you something. We're talking about food. I've been watching on YouTube quite a lot of food channels lately, and Jollibee from what's the part of the country called the Beatles went to, the Philippines. It's a brand. It's like a chain over there, Jollibee.
What was it called? It began with a name, didn't it?
That do fried chicken. Manila, Manila. That's the capital. They do fried chicken, they do burgers, etc. It looks incredible. Kevin's been, obviously, he's been to the Philippines. He's talked to me about Jollibee. It looks incredible. And the
McDonald's, totally different menu over there as well, which always intrigues me. I mean, I'd love to try it. Stephen, you know me, I go to a country, I like to eat the culture. I eat the way they eat. I don't eat the shit that we eat. I go to Greece, I eat cliff tikka.
We watch Indian movies and we see the food. It looks incredible.
Stephen, that's why I ordered. Funny enough, that's why I ordered the chicken tikka biryani, because I thought a kaifi.
Biryani's beautiful. Yeah.
I thought a karfi, getting tucked into that biryani after coming out of prison, and I envied the man. So I just go, when I'm looking for something, I think biryani. And I was so close to ordering, I should say, garlic chicken puri. And I need to, Stephen, I've discovered, we're going off in tangents here, I do apologise, but when I speak about food, in particular Indian food and Italian food, because they're the two best cuisines on the planet, and Greek as well, 3 best cuisines. We have to go to this place. I've discovered a restaurant in Partick. It's a drive, but they do pani puri.
Oh,
that's enough to fucking drive for. They do street food, but pani puri, man.
We'll have to check that out, yeah.
Spiced chickpea mixture. They dip it in spiced water, man. It's kind of sweet. Oh, fuck me.
Maybe we can do a live stream, John.
Praveen, as you know, Steve.
Rate my takeaway,
yeah. Exactly, man. Yeah. Praveen, as you know, from Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh, regaled me of stories of pani puri.
Yeah.
He would bet with his friends and he'd eat fucking
Partick's
20
not far away, John.
It ain't that far away, man. We need
20
to go.
minutes, yeah.
I've dug it out. We need to be going.
Yep.
Fucking top class Indian restaurant.
I'm all for that.
But this, man, I don't know, Stephen, I'd love to see Thalapathy dabbling with someone like Shah Rukh Khan. I think that'd be special. Two great actors from 2 different regions. I want to see them all working. I want to see Amir Khan coming down and doing stuff with Vijay Thalapathy and stuff like that. So I want to see them breaking barriers down. Because we see it when we react to movies from the south or from the north. You have people bickering in the comments, North Indian cinema's dead, South Indian's the best. I actually agree with it. I don't agree that it's dead, but I think South Indian cinema is better now. But I want to see those barriers broken down. I want to see those two working together. Because it's as Ringo did say, peace and love, everybody. There's no point in putting barriers in front of you. Just fucking get in about it, man. Make love,
just
not
happy
war.
we're getting good movies.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where it comes from for me.
Do we even have an idea of what this story's about?
No, that's what I'm saying, John. It's very hush-hush at the moment. You know, I don't know where the source comes from because Jawaan's nowhere to be seen on IMDb. I've looked at both biographies of Thalapathy, Vijay and Shah Rukh Khan. There's nothing there.
Pity.
Not even upcoming, productions or anything like nothing.
It's a pity that we're faint in the chat, Steve, because I'd love to know what Jawaan means. I'm going to search it up actually in Hindi first.
There you are, John. Mike's just replied. That sounds right down your street.
What's that? A local Asian restaurant that delivers. My wife is getting what is that? Pad Thai chicken, and I'm getting that mignon hibachi. Oh, that sounds fucking good, man.
Yeah.
Thai chicken. Oh yes, man. As I told you,
it's 11 o'clock at night here in Scotland and I'm starving now.
I'm going to be having my protein shake, Steve, and I'm going to be eating again. I've got half a chicken tikka biryani left, but half a naan, and it's happy fucking days for me. It really is. You can't beat biryanis by far. Well, there's a couple of things. Look, if I say this, man, Indian people who come in and watch this will be saying, what the fuck's this guy talking about? Dan Sachs and your dopey asses and your Jogesh?
Rogan Josh.
Rogan Josh.
Yeah.
Are they curries that even exist in India? See if you're watching this afterwards. Comment down below and let us know if that's curries that actually exist, dishes that actually exist in India, or if we just made this up and bastardised Indian cuisine.
John, you should ask your new friend on Facebook. Maybe he'll know.
I should ask him. Yeah, Dan Sack is fucking special chicken sort of lentil curry. Fantastic. I could speak about food all day, Stephen. I really could.
We really should do a food show.
We really should do a food show. We should cook. Stephen, you're a fucking absolute incredible cook when it comes to curries. You've got right into it.
I love it, John.
Absolutely right into it, man. You make them all. I'm more of an Italian specialist.
I love
my pasta and stuff like that. But yeah, I digress. We're going off on tangents, man.
Yeah,
mate, you've took us off on a nice little tangent there. We do enjoy that. Tangents are good. So thank you once again for coming in. But that's going around the show up, man. What is your thoughts on that news? That headline, I'm going to bring his name up because I forgot it already, because that's what my brain is like. To be honest, it's like, this guy's changing his fucking name on a weekly, so it shouldn't be too harsh on myself. Park Seo-joon potentially joining the Marvels. A man who had a bit part role in Parasite, but even a bit part role in Parasite's a fucking special role, because it is a quadruple Oscar winning movie. What's your thoughts on it? Do you want to see him in the Marvels? What do you make about Blade? Not adhering to any canon, if indeed there ever was consistent canon in that Marvel comics side of things for Blade. Finally, I'm looking at what do you make about that hot toy, fan-made hot toy of Polka Dot Man's fucked up King Shark mother hybrid? Mother! I thought of Joey Tribbiani there, Drake Ramone. Don't know why. And finally, Thalapathy potentially collaborating with Shah Rukh Khan in a South-North collaboration. Jawaan, did you say, Stephen? If you've got anything to say about that, you can comment down below and share your thoughts down below in the comments section. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel on YouTube and hit the follow button over on Twitch if you want to see more content like that in the future, and you will get it. You may even get cooking content, as Mike correctly says, do a cooking show. Stephen would probably have to do that. It wouldn't work out for me because it's far too fucking messy. I'm not Gordon Ramsay. I'm the guy, I'm also like bottom. I'm like bottom cooking. But a young one, sorry. No, bottom. We're there in the fucking the kitchen and cindering the chicken down to like a tiny little thing. 1 potato or 2. I'll have 2 please. No, you have 1. Giving them gravy instead of wine and stuff like that. That's what Well, my cooking's like, I can't speak for Stephen. It isn't, I'm talking shite. Look, I'll be done in that note. Bye. MCU rules. It certainly does, Mike. It certainly does.
Phase 4.